Hi, I'm Reveira, the founder of That Good Hair, a customizable hair care brand specifically targeting men and women with wavy, curly and coily hair. Okay, now let's get started with the questions that you have asked me to answer at Main Hookup. So the first question is, how do I work out my hair type? Well, everyone's hair type is different and there is no such thing as a good hair type or a bad hair type, so just take that out of your mind first of all. There are loads of things that kind of people think of when they're thinking about their hair type. They think about their curl pattern, their hair porosity, the density, the length, the thickness. There's so many different things. But the main thing that people are referring to is the curl pattern. The most widely used system is the system by Andre Walker. So this ranges from 1A to 1C to 4A to 4C. So these are all the ways from 1s to 4s. 1 being straight, 2 being wavy, 3 being curly and 4 being coily. So the way it works is the numbers represent the type of curl pattern you have, so straight to coily, and then the letters represent the coarseness of the hair. So A is typically the fine, B is the medium and C is the coarsest. So for a 1A, that is very straight fine hair. A 1C would be straight but thicker, coarser hair with maybe a slight curl definition. And that follows through all the way through to curly, coily. So with a 3A, that is probably the loosest, finest curl. And then a 3C would be the coarsest curl. So I'm probably a 3C, verging on a 4A, because my curls are the coarsest type of curls. So they verge onto coils. So that's how the hair typing system works, and that's how you can determine your hair type. A lot of the time people have more than one hair type, and that is completely normal. You are not alone. As I said, I'm a 3C, sometimes 4A, depending on how my hair's feeling. And I know for a lot of people that their hair type is different at different parts of their head. So a lot of the time at the crown of people's heads, which is this part right here at the back kind of top, people find that they have a coarser hair type. So over here I'm about a 4A. A lot of the time people find that at the front they have a looser curl pattern, and that is completely normal. It doesn't necessarily mean that your hair is damaged, but a lot of the time if you have, for example, a regular curl and then at the end of the curl it's dead straight, that is probably a cause of heat damage, and you can either transition or you could do the big chop and just cut it all off. But yeah, so that is how you can determine your hair type. Another question is, do you determine your hair type on wet or dry hair? So I would recommend that you do it on dry hair. When your hair is dry, it is usually very much prone to shrinkage, but it is also the best, most real example of how your hair actually is. So if you have a look at your hair without much products in, so all I've got in my hair is, well, I shampooed and conditioned it, and then I put in some of my custom hair butter as well. So after that, I've not got much products in my hair. You can still see that there's a bit of frizz and that sort of stuff, which is completely fine. Again, completely normal. But you kind of want to look at a fully formed curl and try to distinguish what this is. So is it a wave? Is it a curl? Is it a coil? And then from that, you'll be able to distinguish if your hair, what your hair type is, what your curl pattern is. But yes, I would recommend that you do that on dry hair. Can you explain what hair porosity is and how to find out my own? So, finding out your hair porosity is a very important step. To be honest, I think it's more important than knowing your curl pattern, because your hair porosity refers to your hair's ability to hold and maintain moisture. So, your hair, if you take a single strand of your hair, like so, and looked at it underneath a microscope, you would be able to see that your hair shaft has loads of hair cuticles. So these kind of look like scales on your hair, all pointing downwards. So if those scales, the hair cuticles, are raised, that means that you have a high hair porosity. And what this means is that water can enter your hair very easily, but it can also leave very easily. So this hair is prone to dryness. It's the type of hair that gets wet very easily, is very susceptible to humidity as well. If you have low porosity hair, then it's the complete opposite. So those cuticles lay very flat. So that means it's harder for moisture to get inside of your hair. A lot of the time moisture will just sit on top of your hair. So I have low porosity hair, and if you saw me spray my hair with water, you would see that water literally like beads up on my hair, so you'll see the little water droplets, and they will just drip right off of my hair. They don't penetrate my hair the same way that it would with someone with high porosity. So when it comes to figuring out your hair porosity, if you look on Google, there are loads of different methods. For example, there's the bowl method, where you pull out a strand of your hair, pop it in a bowl, and see if it sinks or floats to be able to determine your hair porosity. But I don't think that that is the best way. It might work for some people, but for me it didn't really work. I couldn't really tell. Every time I put my hair in, it would do something different, and that's a lot of the time because you have products on your hair. Those can affect the moisture that your hair is able to absorb, because if your hair is covered in oil, it's definitely going to float. So for me, I think it's best if you actually look at what your hair does on a regular basis. So if you were to take a spray bottle on your like dry hair without any products in, spray your hair and actually see what does your hair do. So for me, the water will bead up and just drop off. So that's how you know you have low porosity hair. If your hair is soaked completely straight away, then you know that you have high porosity hair. And if your hair starts to become a little bit damp, then you probably have normal porosity hair. So with normal porosity hair, it's a lot easier to manage and maintain, and you can do loads of different things with it. So it's able to maintain moisture normally, it won't dry out as fast, it's just normal type of hair. Low porosity hair is where it's difficult to maintain moisture and difficult to penetrate moisture, so difficult to get moisture, but it holds on to it very well. And high porosity hair is where your hair can easily absorb moisture, but also lets it go very easily. Now you know how to find your hair porosity, let's go on to the next question. So, how do you find the right products for your hair? This is an amazing question, and I think it's the question that everyone really wants an answer to. I am a tiny bit biased, so I would say getting custom made hair products is the way forward. Check out thatgoodhair.co.uk. No, but I think it's really important to understand all of these factors that I've spoken about. So it's important to know your curl pattern, it's important to know your hair porosity, your hair density, your hair texture. All of these different compartments play a part into how products will work for your hair. I think when I first started to look after my hair, I had very damaged blonde hair for whatever reason, and so it was really difficult for me to kind of find how to look after my hair. My mum has naturally wavy hair, so I didn't really know what to do to actually look after my hair. So for me, YouTube was a godsend, because I would look at people and I would look at their hair and I would go, okay, you have hair like this and your hair looks similar to mine. But I think it's really about knowing your hair. So take time to work out your hair type, your hair texture, your hair porosity, your hair density, all of these different things. And if you figure out, oh wow, I have very low density hair, that means I'd like lightweight products. So I would like a curl milk, I would like a spray leave-in conditioner, I would like lighter moisturizing things, but with active ingredients that really penetrate my hair. So if you know that you have high porosity hair, then maybe coconut oil isn't the perfect oil for you. There's just loads of different elements that you definitely want to explore when you are trying to find the right hair products for you. So I hope that helps. Does hair dye change your natural curl pattern? So no. Hair dye should not change your natural curl pattern, but what hair dye can do is it can change your hair porosity. So what hair dye does is hair dye goes inside of your hair strand. So pick a piece of hair, it will go inside of your hair strand, and that's where it will deposit the dye, and that's how your hair will look a different colour. To actually get inside of your hair strand, the dye will need to raise the cuticle to enter inside of your hair strand. By raising the cuticle, that gives you what? High hair porosity. So it affects your hair's ability to retain moisture. So with high porosity hair, it's harder to retain moisture, and that's why people who dye their hair often say that they have drier hair, because your hair porosity has risen, your hair cuticles are raised, and so you will tend to get drier hair. But you shouldn't see a change in your hair pattern, because the hair dye doesn't actually do anything to change that. However, if you have damaged your hair through dyeing it, you may see that your curl pattern has changed, has become a little bit weaker. What I would recommend for that would be the Olaplex Bond system, so Olaplex Bond 3, which actually rebuilds the cuticles of your hair and helps to repair the damage that's been done by hair dye. So if you go to a salon to get your hair dyed, or even if you're doing your hair at home, I used to have purple hair about a year ago, and when I would dye my hair purple, after dyeing it, I would use the Olaplex Bond 3. LOC or LCO. So people usually call it the lock method. I call it the lock method, and what it stands for is for leave-in or liquid, oil, and then cream. So I love this method. I actually don't really do the LOC method, but I do the LCO method. So for me, I like to use oil as a sealant, and so I don't want to put my cream product on top of the oil. I'd rather put the oil on at the end to kind of seal in all of that moisture, especially since I do have low porosity hair and I know that it's difficult for my hair to really receive moisture. So I don't want to put the oil on to block out all of the cream that I want to go into my hair. And what do I use for the liquid / leave-in? So with low porosity hair and also low density hair, so I have low density hair, meaning that my hair's quite fine, I can't really use very thick products. Instead, I prefer things that are quite lightweight, things that are very water-based, or things that are very oil-based but use the right types of oil. So for me, I like jojoba oil, I like castor oil for growth, but I like borichi oil. There's loads of different oils that I really favour, and that really help me with my hair. So that's what I use for the oil stage. For the L stage, the liquid or leave-in, I like to use water mixed with a little bit of conditioner. So I use my hair growth custom conditioner from That Good Hair. I'll mix it in with my water, give it a good shake, and then spray that on my hair as a very light leave-in conditioner. For the oil stage, or the cream stage, which is what I do next, I like to use my custom hair butter. So I have a hair butter that's made up of kapaku butter, mango butter, castor oil, borichi oil, loads of different oils, and it's really, really lightweight, so you can choose the ingredients that you want inside of your hair products at That Good Hair. And so I've chosen ingredients that are great for low porosity hair, great for hair growth, because that is my goal at the moment. And so through using these ingredients, it's really helped to moisturize my hair. And then for the oil section, I use borichi oil as my oil of choice because it really helps with detangling, it helps with moisture. It comes from a tree called the Tree of Life, so I think it's giving life to my hair. But I think it's really important that you know the density of your hair when you're doing this. You don't want to be packing in too many products that just weigh your hair down and then make it look flat, and kind of actually can cause a bit more damage than good to the appearance of your curls. So for me, I prefer to use quite lightweight products. So for my cream, I like to use my lightweight butter, but you could use a curl cream, you could use a curl milk, you could use loads of different kind of products. You could use your styling products here, but you really want to use products that have great ingredients, that are moisturizing, and that are actually meeting your hair goals. So for me, my goals are hair growth, curl definition, and thicker hair, because I have low density hair. I want my hair to grow, and I also really like having defined curls, so I try to avoid frizz at all costs. I hope that made sense. Now you know what the lock method or LCO method is. So the next question is, are there any conditioners that are better than shea butter? Yes, there definitely are. So shea butter is a very famous butter. It has amazing moisturizing properties. It also has SPF properties. It helps prevent damage, split ends, a whole host of things. But for loads of people, shea butter can be a bit too heavy for people, me included. And so I prefer to use lighter weight alternatives. So for me, if we're looking at butters rather than conditioners, for me I prefer using mango butter, which is a lighter, creamier alternative to shea butter. I also like using kapaku butter, which is packed full of amazing vitamins. And again, it's a lighter weight butter for me compared to shea butter, but it's a very similar butter. It's less well known, but it's really, really great for hair growth, preventing damage, for so many things, kind of all the same things as shea butter, to be honest, but it just has a lot of vitamins. So I think butters aren't necessarily a conditioner, but they're just hard. they're a solid form of oils in a sense. So when you have an oil, and if you're cooking, for example, and you have an oil and then it kind of solidifies on the top, there's almost like a layer of fat. That's basically what it is. That's what butters are. So they are oils that have hardened, and they're perfect. They're really, really great. They can be really great for conditioning and moisturizing your hair, but conditioners for your hair should be water-based. So at That Good Hair, we have a curl definition conditioner, we have a hair growth conditioner, and these all have amazing waters in them that hold so many benefits. So for our hair growth conditioner, for example, we use peppermint hydrosol. So peppermint hydrosol stimulates the scalp, it smells great, but it also really actually helps meet your hair goal of hair growth. So I think when you're looking for a conditioner, you want something that actually hydrates your hair rather than just seals in moisture, which is what oils do. Although it can impart loads of great benefits, I cannot doubt that, you do need something that's actually hydrating your hair to keep it healthy. Otherwise, using butters solely as a conditioner can just coat your hair, make it look really shiny, but it isn't actually giving it the hydration that it needs on the inside of the hair strands. So yeah, I would really suggest using a real conditioner, but in terms of butters, there are loads of other great butters out there, so you should definitely have a look. I love cocoa butter as well. Cocoa butter is a much denser, harder butter, so if you have coarser hair, you may want to give cocoa butter a try. It smells like chocolate, win-win. So yeah, there's loads of great other ingredients out there, but I think shea butter is currently very, very well known for great reasons, but definitely try and widen your butter portfolio and try out loads of different things. The next question is, what ingredients are great for hair growth and why? So with hair growth is a very complex topic because your hair is always growing. Your hair is going through loads of different stages. So you have the anagen stage, the catagen stage. There's loads of different cycles. There's loads of different stages in the hair growth cycle. So you have the stage where it's growing, which can last a couple of years, and then you have the stage where it's dormant, and then you have the stage where it falls out. So at any point in time, I think they say about 80% of your hair is in the growing stage, and your hair grows inches. It really, really does. I think loads of the time people focus on hair growth when the focus should genuinely be on hair retention. Now, I know I've spoken a lot about hair growth and about my products which work on hair growth. And they do. So they help to stimulate hair growth, but they also help to strengthen the hair, which is really important for hair retention. A lot of the time your hair breaks off prematurely, so it could break off from split ends, it could break off from a whole host of different issues, and the important thing here is the fact that you want to be retaining your hair. So some ingredients that are great for hair growth or hair retention would be some amazing oils. So for example, I think avocado oil is an incredible oil because it has so many vitamins in there. It's packed full of omega-3s, and it is also really, really great at strengthening your hair, at really solidifying those bonds in your hair and making sure it doesn't drop out. So that is a great ingredient for hair growth. I would also say the same thing for hemp seed oil, for castor oil. These are all packed with so many omega-3s. It really helps to strengthen your hair, to thicken your hair. These are ones that really help to penetrate the hair as well, so actually moisturizes your hair and helps it to grow really long. In terms of essential oils, lavender oil is known for helping to grow hair. So lavender oil is something that I add to the hair growth shampoo and the hair growth conditioner, but you could add it to any of the formulas. So you could add it to your curl definition shampoo and conditioner if you wanted to. Another ingredient that is really great for hair growth, especially if you're dealing with hair loss. So this is something that's completely different. I think that loads of people deal with hair loss at different stages in their life, and this could be stress induced, this could be alopecia, this could be traction alopecia, and so I think there are loads of reasons why people deal with hair loss, but the ingredient, pumpkin seed oil. So pumpkin seed oil is a great ingredient. There was a study administered and it found that people who were taking a tablespoon of pumpkin seed oil every day found their hair grew, and they were struggling with hair loss, found that this helped to counteract hair loss because it basically blocks the hormone that helps to cause hair loss. So if you are struggling with hair loss, I made my mum do this, and my mum's hair has grown significantly. She was starting to lose her hair. I think it was more stress induced, but taking that really worked for her, and so I would definitely give that a go. Other great ingredients would include stuff like caffeine, as I said, peppermint, things that stimulate the scalp, that really get the blood rushing to the scalp, because that provides all of the necessary nutrients for your hair. I would also say water. Drink your water. Make sure it's with the ingredients for hair growth. It's not so much about DIY ingredients, although those really help. Your hair grows from the inside, so when your body isn't getting enough of the nutrients it needs, enough of the vitamins it needs, it won't be giving that energy, it won't be giving all of the nutrients to your hair. It will be giving it to your skin, to your health, to your liver, to your organs, to your heart, because that's what actually needs it. So if you make sure that you're eating the right things, if you have a balanced diet, if you're drinking enough water, your hair will start to grow, because the first thing that gets cut off from all supplies is your hair. So if you're not eating well, if you're not living well, if you're not drinking water, your hair really does start to suffer first. A lot of the time when I'm about to be sick, my brother goes, "I think you're going to get a cold," and I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Look at your hair." So it really is something, you can definitely see it straight away. My hair starts going extremely dry and like frazzled, and I look like Albert Einstein, but I'm a bit sensitive. So it is definitely something that you should consider as well if you're trying to grow your hair. Are there any key foods to eat that help with hair growth? So I literally just spoke about this. So as I said, drinking a lot of water, eating foods that are high in omega-3. So I found that I was taking biotin tablets at one point, which didn't work for me. So it kind of made me just come out with spots rather than letting my hair grow. I started taking some fish oil tablets. I did a bit of research into it as well, and it works. So fish oil or omega-3s are really important. They help to give your hair the vitamins it needs to grow. These nourish your hair, so I think eating a lot of fishy foods. Of recent, I've been having like tuna every day. I've been eating salmon most days, and I've really seen a massive difference in my hair. My hair, when I stretch it, touches my bum now, so it's growing. But I just want it to grow in its curly form as well, you know. But yeah, so there's a load of great foods that you can eat. I have a whole blog about this, to be honest. So if you wanted to find out some more foods that you should be eating to grow your hair, you can have a look there. But eating some fishy foods, taking omega-3, drinking your water. I keep saying drink your water. Water is the cure to everything. But yeah, make sure that you're staying hydrated. That will really help to grow your hair. The last question now, homemade versus shop bought products. Well, which is better? For me, I am very biased. I would say that neither of them are better, that custom made hair products are the way forward. No, but of course I think that there's definitely an in-between, and that's where That Good Hair was born. So I think with homemade products, DIY can be great, it can have loads of benefits, but it doesn't have all of the ingredients that shop bought products do. So I obviously use professional moisturizers, I use professional surfactants, I use professional ingredients in my hair care products that just do better than homemade products. However, within my products, I also incorporate a lot of DIY. So I use green tea, I use avocados, I use real coconut milk within hair products, and I genuinely believe they make a difference. I use real oils, I use real castor oil, flown in from Jamaica. So I think that these ingredients do have such a powerful impact. My hair care journey started off with me making DIY hair masks out of coconut milk, honey and eggs. But I think the downside with homemade products is the fact that they go rancid very quickly. Maybe it's just me, but my mum would go crazy at me because I'd leave rice water going moldy in the fridge for like a week. I have terrible time management skills though, or at least I used to. So that's the main concern, is the fact that these products have no preservatives, they have nothing stabilizing them. I think a main thing as well with homemade products is the fact that you don't know the pH of these products. pH has a massive impact on your hair. As I was showing you with the hair porosity tests, but with determining your hair porosity, if you use the wrong pH, that can raise or lower your hair cuticle. And that's one of the things that we find out at That Good Hair when we ask you about your hair profile. We create a hair profile for you where we determine your curl pattern, where we determine your hair porosity, texture, density, all of these different factors to figure out which products would be best for you. So if you have low porosity hair, we know that we don't need to use when we're creating a shampoo, we create it with a slightly higher pH than we would with someone who has high porosity hair. We'd give them a slightly lower pH to help close back that cuticle. So these things all come into consideration, and when you're making DIY hair products at home and you're squeezing in the lemon juice, this may have a pH of 3 or a pH of 2, for example, and your hair should only be at a pH of around 4 to 5, between 4 and 6 is really a safe range for your hair. So at home there is no actual authorization, there is no quality control check, making sure that these are safe for your hair. But I do think they have loads more natural benefits, loads more organic ingredients, that kind of thing, and it is from nature, and I do believe that nature is best, and that's why at That Good Hair, with our custom hair products, we really do our best to use completely natural ingredients, naturally derived ingredients, organic, etc, etc. But on the other hand, we have shop bought products, so they do benefit from the professional ingredients, they do benefit from the pH testing, from the quality control, from meeting the standards. If you're in the UK, we have one of the strictest standards in the world, in Europe. So I think that it is really, really good to use shop bought products. However, there's a lot of trial involved. So there is a whole load of, will this work for me? Will it not work for me? I'm spending £15 on a shampoo, I'm spending £15 on a conditioner, so that's £30. And this was garbage. It does nothing for my hair, or it makes my hair feel clean, but I don't like the smell, or this, that, and the other. So there's loads of different things that happen. I feel like most people with curly hair or coily hair or even wavy hair are self-professed product junkies, but that is a lot of money that gets wasted on a regular basis. That's a lot of plastic, that's a lot of resources, impact on the environment, which I'm quite passionate about. So I think there's a lot that definitely does go into purchasing shop bought products and doing a lot of trial and error. But at That Good Hair, we have made it that our bottles are completely recyclable, but we also will be launching with a refill scheme allowing you to send back your bottles. Our products are custom made. They are priced a bit higher, so a shampoo conditioner duo is £60 and our hair butter is £25, etc. But with our products you can send it back, you can change your formula as much as you want. So if you want a hair growth shampoo and conditioner this month, but you want a curl definition shampoo and conditioner next month, or a hair growth shampoo and a curl definition conditioner, or a moisture bomb shampoo, or a smoothing conditioner, you can choose, you can vary your ingredients, you can change your smell, you can change your hair goals, your hair problems, etc. And the hair products really grow with you. So if you've decided, screw it, I'm doing a big shop, or you know what, I'm gonna dye my hair purple like I did a year ago, it's up to you to make that decision, and the hair products change with you. So if you decided to dye your hair purple and you're making DIY products, or you're buying products from a shop, you really have to go out and figure out, okay, so now what do I use for coloured hair? Okay, what ingredients work well for coloured hair? What can I try and make? I think also with DIY, there's a lot of DIY wrongs. You've seen them on Pinterest fails, or if you have a look at my old hair blog, you'll see when I made a banana hair mask maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and the whole thing got stuck in my hair. My mum and my brother had to sit there picking chunks of banana out of my hair, which would not wash out for the life of me. I went through it with a fine-tooth comb and it just broke the banana into smaller pieces in my hair. So I think there is definitely a lot of room for error, but at That Good Hair we really want to make it a seamless process to go with you throughout your hair care journey. So I would say custom hair care products are the best option. Check us out at thatgoodhair.co.uk. Stay ready for our pre-launch, which will have loads of discounts. You will be getting a shampoo and conditioner for a little less than £60 a lot less than £60 per month. So if you want to pre-order, please head to That Good Hair UK or thatgoodhair.co.uk. Thank you for watching.